One of the questions that I got asked many times is how I started my label without any artist. And the solution was very simple. I was not only producing my own music, but I was using YouTube a lot. So I just did the research about some music production tutorials, about electronic dance music, let's say EDM, trance music, techno music, and all I did was to contact the users from the comments that they were making on that videos. I was introducing myself that I'm planning to start the label, and some of these producers replied and signed a contract with Alveda Music for their tracks. And now you will ask me, how did you provide the contract if you don't already have a label? It was very simple, again, because I was studying at SCI Institute in London, and we had some examples about how to write a proper contract for an individual track. So I did my own research, I got some signed contracts, and then I was looking for music distribution. In the beginning I was using CD Baby and Rootnote, and later on I signed with Labelbox. Once I had my label on Beatport, I officially had a label then. The funny part was that Alveda Music was not intended to be a label. The first plan was to start a video network on YouTube. YouTube back then was allowing you to build your own sub-network under other major networks. Many of you may not understand how that works, but the plan was to copy a network like Vivo back then, and the name of the label, or the music network, let's say, music channel network, was Veda. And I remember we had a channel which was called Veda Music Network, and I was running also a separate plan for a record label, which the name was TTP Music Records. I just discovered back then that it was easier to make profits by selling your music than just uploading and monetizing YouTube music videos. One other issue was that Veda, it was a very common name for a brand, and I was completely sure that there was some other brands using that title or that company name. On the 7th of February 2012, I was at school and I was thinking a new name that will represent a label and also a music channel network. So it stuck in my mind the phrase, all artists Veda. From these words, I kept the all and I included the word Veda. So we ended up with the final word, which was Alveda. It was something completely randomly created. A year after founding the label Alveda Music, I got a deal with Labelbox and we were officially a record label. I was not making any important amount of money for the first years of running the label. And also on the first year of running, we had only less than 10 artists, which they have singed like 2-3 songs. And because one artist commented another artist regarding a track which was using samples, and I told the artists to do not complain one each other, they all backfired me, and it was like starting a new label from the scratch. So I ended up with only 2 artists again in the beginning, and of course myself, because I was producing plenty of songs. I was using any method available to create new music. Many people blamed me about ripping off other songs and things like that, but I was using samples, a lot of samples, and I was using also a lot of MIDIs. Everything was completely legal. I haven't violated any terms, and I have expanded my catalog. After reinvesting the money that I was making on the Alveda Music website, I noticed that I was getting many new artists on my label every week, and I ended up having plenty of top 100 tracks on Beatport, especially on the big room music genre back then, which I see now that that genre almost doesn't exist. They have merged this genre on the main stage chart. After getting on the top 100 songs, I was getting plenty of demos, really a lot of demos. I was selecting only the best tracks, and I was looking only for real artists on my label. By having these artists on my website, we got way more traffic and we have expanded way more. On the profit side, I found that selling compilation albums and licensing your music was way more profitable than releasing single tracks. So I started a new label which was called Alveda, or let's say Alveda Music Various Albums. And then we started making some real profit. It was a really long and hard and tough time to pass all these things, because many times I thought about giving up. But on COVID period, I can clearly say that it was worth all the time that I invested and spent my time on that label. And I would like to say a big thanks to all artists involved on that massive plan and the showcasing our work to our fans and people out there. We just have to remember to do not give up. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.